Congratulations on your new rifle. From those of us at Gunwerks, we'd like to say welcome to the family. Today we're going to go over the first few things we need to do when we go to the range the first time. Okay, so before we get this gun out of the case, let's go ahead and go over a couple things that you should see in here. We've got our owner's manuals, lens wipes, a gun sling, and scope accessories. If you chose to order a case like this one, or just chose to ship it in our shipping box, your bipod, your ammo will all ship in its own box separately, so don't be afraid that it's not in here. So let's go ahead and get this gun out and get it set up on the bench. All right, before we get shooting here, let's go over a couple things to make you successful. Our number one thing is shooting support. That's what's going to get us successful on paper and at distance. Today we were set up on a bipod and rear bag. That's preferably what we'll do just so we can be successful in the field because it's the same setup. We really just don't want to use a lead sled just because those will change your zero pretty significantly from when you received it from us to when you go shoot at the range. Also in the field, you'll see a big change there. The next couple things we need to go over is our diopter adjustment and parallax. This is our diopter and this is going to adjust the reticle so it's nice and sharp for our eyes. On the left side is our parallax. For the Collis scope in particular, it's up underneath the elevation turret, so that's just a little different. Parallax, what that is just making sure we don't have any impact shifts at distance. Most quality scopes are going to have yardage numbers signified on these, and those line up really close to those yardages to make sure that we're parallax free. So now that we've got that set, we need to go ahead and confirm this rifle zero. Every rifle before it leaves our facility is going to have the barrel been cleaned, and so what you may see is for the first couple rounds they may impact in a different location than the following three, so we like to shoot at least 5 before we make any adjustments. Let's go over a couple of these adjustments on all of our scopes that we have. They're going to be MOA clicks, which means at 100 yards each click is 1/4 of an inch, and so on every one of our turrets that you're going to see is the bottom row is going to be MOA and then the top row will be yardage. So make sure when we're looking at 100 yards and checking zeros, we're paying attention to that bottom row because each of those clicks will be those 1/4 inch per clicks. So from here, let's go ahead and we're going to get a few rounds on target and then make some adjustments from there. All right, so based on that last shot, looks like they all landed in the same group, which was nice. So those first two didn't land in a different spot like we thought they may based on that cold, clean barrel. So I'm gonna make these adjustments now. So I need to come down 1/4 of an inch or 1/4 MOA, and I need to come to the right a full minute or 1 full inch. So let's make those adjustments here real quick. So there, down 1. Your elevation turret's gonna be set at 0 when you receive it with the 0 stopping at 0. So I'm going to have you refer to your scope manufacturing manual that you have, or what scope that you have, to make that adjustment down. So for today's instance, I just made that adjustment how we have it set. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to shoot 3 more rounds and make an adjustment from there if we need to. So let's go ahead and do that. So our zero's looking pretty good there. We've reset our turret caps to 0, so that's all lined up. And before we go ahead and verify a distance, I'm gonna pull out my rifle information packet and grab the information that comes with our long range package. So we have our QR code and all of our ballistic information for this exact rifle. The turret information is also etched on here. So if you lose your paper here, you have hard data that's always on your turret cap. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this profile scanned in here, and then we'll sync it over to the rangefinder here. So, all right, so now I got that profile there. I'm gonna sync this up with our binoculars here. All right, and the reason we're doing this is our binoculars or our handheld rangefinder, they're gonna give us a correction based on the current conditions right here today. So my turret is built for a specific elevation and temperature because it has to have a baseline. So this one, for example, this turret's built for 6,000 feet and 40 degrees. That's not where we're at here today. And that's where these rangefinders are gonna go ahead and fix all that for us. So now that I have that profile into this rangefinder, I'm gonna go ahead and range our target down here. All right, so 635 yards, and it's telling me to go ahead and dial that for 638 today. So not a big difference, but we'll go ahead and make that adjustment and send a few rounds downrange. right, so now we can see that these binoculars are giving us perfect data for these turrets, so everything's lining up great. I'm ready to go ahead and send some more rounds down range. We hope you enjoy your new Gunwerks rifle. Thank you and welcome to the family.